Assalamu alaikum, this is Mehwish Rani and welcome to Enhance Your Knowledge. In our previous video, we have discussed types of sentence according to meaning or function. Today we are going to discuss types of sentence according to structure. According to structure, we have four different types of sentences. The first one is simple sentence, second is compound sentence, third is complex sentence, and the fourth one is compound complex sentence. Firstly, we will discuss what is a simple sentence. A simple sentence contains a subject and a verb. It expresses a single complete thought that can stand on its own. It does not need any other group of words to convey the meaning. It itself can present a complete thought. For example, the baby cried for food. Here in this sentence, we are able to understand the complete meaning of the sentence. And the baby is the subject, cried for food is predicate, and cried is the verb. If we see some other examples of simple sentences, then we will come to know that it is not necessary that simple sentence have only a single subject. It can have compound subject, like in this sentence, Ali and Sami play tennis. Ali and Sami, it is a compound subject. The next sentence, Ali and Sami play tennis and swim. Ali and Sami is compound subject, but play tennis and swim, it is also a compound predicate. Normally it is being considered that simple sentence is short. To lengthen the simple sentence, we can add compound subject, compound predicate, or prepositional phrases. As you see in this sentence, I looked for Amna and Alize at the bus station for an hour. So Amna and Alize is a compound subject. At the bus station is a prepositional phrase. Second one is compound sentence. A compound sentence has two independent clauses, and independent clauses are also known as simple sentences because, as we have studied earlier, that they can stand on its own. They does not need any other group of words to convey their meaning. So two independent clauses which are connected to one another with a coordinating conjunction. What is coordinating conjunction? These are the words used to connect the compound part of a subject. In order to remember the coordinating conjunction, you can remember the word fanboys. And each letter of this word refers to a coordinating conjunction. Let's see. F stands for, A stands for and, N for nor, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, and S for so. So as the title suggests, that their function is to coordinate between two sentences of a compound sentence. Let's see the examples. The door was locked and the house looked dark. He waited for the train, but the train was late. He has all the wealth of the world, yet he is sad. In all these sentences, and, but, yet are the coordinating conjunctions which are connecting two independent clauses. The next one is complex sentence. A complex sentence is an independent clause joined by one or more independent clauses. About independent clause, we have an idea that it can stand on its own. It does not need any other group of words to convey a complete thought. But we must have to know what is a dependent clause. A dependent clause either lacks a subject or a verb, or has both a subject and a verb that does not express a complete thought. Like dependent clause rely on independent clause. Without independent clause, we are unable to understand a complete thought. In complex sentences, we always use subordinate conjunctions. As we have studied that in compound sentences we used coordinating conjunction, while in complex sentence we use subordinate conjunction. And the function of subordinate conjunction is to join dependent clause with an independent clause. You can take a screenshot of subordinate conjunction to memorize them. We'll discuss the examples. The first sentence is, when the door opened, they were happy to see their mother. The underlined part of a sentence is when the door opened, and this is the dependent clause. If we separate it, we have no idea that what happened when the door opened. We are unable to understand the complete meaning, although it has a subject, it has a verb, but still we are unable to understand a complete thought. So dependent clause is depending on independent clause. When the door opened, they were happy to see their mother. John and Sarah were selected as partners for a project after the teacher chose groups. After the teacher choose group is our dependent clause. What happened after choosing the groups by the teacher? We have no idea until we read that John and Sarah were selected as partners for a project. The next one is compound complex sentence. A compound complex sentence has two independent clauses and at least one dependent clause. We will discuss that why we call it compound complex sentence, because it has the characteristics of both types of sentences, compound sentence and complex sentence. We will clarify it through this example. The sentence is, after the two soccer players lost their game, they joined their other teammates for lunch and they went to the movies. In this sentence, after the two soccer players lost their game is our dependent clause. We have no idea what happened after that until we read the complete sentence. They joined their other teammates for lunch and they went to the movies. They joined their other teammates for lunch, independent clause. They went to the movies, and other independent clause. So in this sentence there are two independent clauses, while after the two soccer players lost their game is a dependent clause. Now we will discuss that why we call it compound complex sentence. If we break this sentence into two sentences, the first sentence is, after the two soccer players lost their game, they joined their other teammates for lunch. See, after the two soccer players lost their game, it is a dependent clause. They joined their other teammates for lunch. It is an independent clause. So we have studied earlier that when a single dependent clause joined with independent clause, it became a complex sentence, right? And if you observe the second sentence, they joined their other teammates for lunch and they went to the movies. And you know that when we use coordinating conjunction between two independent clauses, then it becomes a compound sentence. So compound complex sentence is having the characteristics of both compound sentence and complex sentence, so we call it compound complex sentence. In the last slide we have some tips to remember. In simple sentence there is one independent clause. In compound sentence two or more independent clauses which are joined with coordinating conjunction. In complex sentence, one independent clause and one dependent clause which are joined to each other with a subordinate conjunction. And in compound complex sentence, we have two independent clauses and at least one dependent clause. And by these points, I do hope that it's easy for you to remember the difference between types of sentence according to structure. I do hope that you will like the video. Don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you.